Psalm chapter 59. Deliver me from mine enemies, O my God. Defend me from them that rise up against me. Deliver me from the workers of iniquity, and save me from bloody men. For lo, they lie in wait for my soul. The mighty are gathered against me. Not for my transgression, nor for my sin, O Lord. They run and prepare themselves without my fault. Awake to help me, and behold, thou therefore, O God of hosts, the God of Israel, awake to visit all the heathen. Be not merciful to any wicked transgressors. Selah. So go back to the beginning. And then, so David, when Saul sent, and they watched the house to kill him. So they were lying in wait. They were watching his house. They were ready to kill him or come after him because he was anointed, because he was a threat. So he needed the Lord to come in and to change things, to change his course, to change the situation for him. He said, deliver me from mine enemies. Oh my God, defend me from them that rise up against me. So did he have folks rising up against him? Did he need a defense? Did he need the Lord to come in and do something supernatural? He certainly did. Deliver me from the workers of iniquity, that's sin, and save me from bloody men. Now, in this case, these are sinful men, and they are also violent men that are waiting for him. They're ready to kill him. For lo, they lie in wait for my soul. He didn't say his body, he said his soul. And it's like they wanted to take even more than the body. They wanted to take his very, the core of who he was. They wanted to bring him that far down. The mighty are gathered against me, not for my transgression, nor for my sin, O Lord. So they weren't waiting for him because he'd done anything wrong. They weren't waiting for him because he'd sinned against them. They weren't waiting for him because he transgressed and he owed them something. They were waiting for him for other reasons. They run and prepare themselves without my fault. So he was faultless in this. They're all getting all ready. They're running around, preparing themselves without him doing anything to be at fault. Awake to help me, and behold. He needed God to wake up. He's saying, wake up, wake up. I think you would remember experiences in your life where, either someone younger than you, or even like a grown-up that came to your room, or a child that came to wake you up, wake up, or even sometimes your pet when they want to go out, they wanted to wake you up in the morning. Maybe they're on a schedule or they need to go out in the morning or something, but lots of reasons where you would go and wake up someone, or you would be you would have to wake up. So this is kind of like, imagine him just needing to arouse God from his sleep, and behold, and he's like, look at me. I don't know if you've ever won someone's attention really bad. You just needed them to see something that you did. Look, or either it could have been evidence, it could have been a picture, it could have been something wonderful that you created, it could have been oh my gosh, this is a great video, it could have, but it's like, behold, that's what it means to behold. It's like, you're looking at this, really look at this, really look at this situation. He needs God to wake up. He needs him to behold. Thou therefore, O Lord, God of hosts, the God of Israel, awake to visit all the heathen. It's like, give him a visit. Be not merciful to any wicked transgressors, Selah. So he's not asking for mercy for these fellows, because if they're wicked and if they're transgressing, they're going to sin against him. If they're laying in wait to kill him, then he's not asking for mercy for these guys. He said, be not merciful to any wicked transgressors, Selah. And that's an extended Selah, an extended break in the music. They return at evening. They make a noise like a dog and go around the city. So they come back every night. And then it's like they're howling like dogs, They go around the city. Behold, they belch out with their mouth, swords are in their lips. For who, say they, doth hear? So they're just saying anything. They're saying whatever they want. and it's crude and it's rude, and swords are in their lips. It's just a vile their speech. But thou, O Lord, shalt laugh at them. Let's repeat it. But thou, O Lord, shalt laugh at them. Thou shalt have all the heathen in derision. Because of his strength will I wait upon thee, for God is my defense. He may have no other defense around him. He may have nothing else that's that's no one else is standing up for him. But he has a defense. He has a defense that he's waiting on. He says because of his strength, because of the strength of God, and he gives that he calls calls it what it is, and he gives credit where credit is due, and he not only calls upon God's strength, but he trusts in it, he acknowledges it, and he names it. Because of his strength will I wait upon thee. Because of his strength will I wait upon thee, for God is my defense. The God of my mercy shall prevent me. So God even keeps him from getting into danger. He keeps him from getting into trouble. God shall let me see my desire upon mine enemies. Well, what was his desire? He didn't want God to be merciful, because they were waiting to kill him, They were transgressors and wicked as well. So he said, shall see my desire upon mine enemies. Slay them not. He didn't want them to get killed. Slay them not, lest my people forget. Scatter them by thy power and bring them down, O Lord, our shield. So he didn't want God to kill him. He just wanted, to spread them out, disorganize them, spread them out. He wanted God to scatter them. He said, slay them not, lest my people forget. He wanted actually kind of there to be evidence. Oh, these guys are still around, remember what they did, remember how they were after me. And then it's like, well, remember what God did. Remember what God did for me. Okay, well, that's good. It's like a constant reminder, and that they're scattered. His enemies are scattered. They're disorganized. It's not a bunch of them organized and waiting for him. They're actually scattered all over the place, and they're not gonna plan anything on their own. It's weakened, like a weakened cord. All right, so slay them not, lest my people forget. Scatter them by thy power, and bring them down. Wants him to bring them down. O Lord, our shield. I like that word. O Lord, our shield. Like God stands in front of him when the enemy's attacking, and nothing gets to him. For the sin of their mouth and the words of their lips, let them even be taken in their pride, and for cursing and lying, which they speak. So they're out there. There's sins coming out of their mouth. Words are coming off their lips. He wants them to be taken in their pride. They're very prideful as they approach him to destroy him, to hurt him. And for cursing and lying when they speak. So they're cursing, they're putting curses, and then they're lying. They're telling lies about him. This is what they're doing. Consume them in wrath. And wrath is anger. Consume them in wrath. Consume them, that they may not be. Let them know that God ruleth in Jacob unto the ends of the earth. Selah. And at evening let them return, and let them make a noise like a dog, and go round about the city. Let them wander up and down for meat and grudge, if they be not satisfied. But I will sing of thy power. Yeah, I will sing aloud of thy mercy in the morning. For thou hast been my defense and my refuge in the day of my trouble. Unto thee, O my God, will I sing, for God is my defense and the God of my mercy. I love Psalm chapter 59, verses 16 and 17. It's like, let's move away from that. Talk about those gentlemen who are just lying in wait to destroy him, because he's already planning for what he's going to do. He's already planning his victory. his victory song. I like this. He says, but I will sing of thy power. They're doing one thing. They're lying in wait for him, but he's in there singing. I will sing of thy power. I will sing of thy power. Yeah, I will sing aloud of thy mercy in the morning. So when he gets up in the morning, he's ready to sing about the mercy of God. All right, for thou hast been my defense and my refuge in the day of my trouble. Well, that's what God is for me too. He stands for me in a defense mode, and I sing to him. I love to sing to the Lord. It is the greatest joy to have that in my home and to sing before the Lord and to sing of his strength, sing of his power, sing of his majesty, sing of his kingship, of his lordship, to give glory and to give praise to the Lord. He says, for thou hast been my defense and refuge. It's the only one he could really turn to, right? It's the only one he could really run to. And my refuge in the day of my trouble. I don't know if you've had troubles lately. I know I feel like as soon as I, it's not it shouldn't be a shocker, and we have troubles, but sometimes it is. Sometimes I go, oh, I can't believe this is reality, that this is really happening. And yet there are troubles, even for King David, even for, one anointed to be king. He had so much, it was a lot of antagonism. That's difficult for me. I think it's difficult for anyone. It's really difficult for me to understand, why the anointed get antagonized so much, and why that if the Lord, steps out, to put his man in that place, kingship and worship and the line, that there's so much darkness that opposes him. The opposition is a shocker to me. And yet, see the hand of God over and over again, the faithfulness of God over and over again. And I love the story of the Lord that comes to save, constantly comes to save. And a lot of times what we're dealing with is the opposition is just sin nature, and those who are rising up against the Lord and the ones that he's called, in their sin, David told of it, what was coming out of their mouths and how they were behaving and how violent they were, and the lies and all these things. The Lord had to be the defense. And did the Lord choose for those, to rise up against them? Oh, I think that anyone would imagine that the Lord wouldn't want peace for his beloved. But I know that when we go through trials, when we go through trouble, and God is able to be our refuge, that it builds our character and it builds our faith, and it writes our story in a powerful and mighty way, and gives us a story. And I don't think that as a believer you may ever know a time where you don't need refuge, and there might not be a time where you don't come against some trial, some trouble, some antagonism. There will be trials in this life, and yet, look at who God is. Look at who God is, and look at how David handled it. Now, it's you gotta know. It's like, when Saul sent and they watched the house to kill him, they're there. They're waiting for him, and what does he say he's doing? I'll sing of your power. I'll sing of your power. So there's your He said, unto thee, O my strength, will I sing, for God is my defense and the God of my mercy. He really, really, really needed mercy. I know I often need mercy in my life, and the mercy of God in my life to come to my defense and to help me out of sticky situations. And that's exactly what David needed at this time. Unto thee, O my strength. He needed the strength of God. He needed a defense, and yet his state and his reaction, that song. That's what I want you to take away. That's what I want you to do. If you're listening, I want you to sing of the mercy of the Lord in the morning. I want you to make the Lord your refuge. And sometimes maybe you're not getting any opposition because you're not taking a stand. So take a stand for your faith. Take a stand for your faith, and then find refuge in the strength of the Almighty, because He's waiting. He's waiting for you.